So, talking a bit about booking platforms for your STR or short term rental, I recommend Airbnb. That's what I use. I've played around with Verbo and a little bit with Booking.com and Mr. B&B. But Airbnb's been by far the best. It's just easy to use and they have a lot of customers. In Japan, we can't host every night. It's the law. We can only host 180 nights a year, which really sucks. But probably in your area, you can host every night, I would imagine. So you might want to look at a couple of different booking platforms and then look into some software that would allow you to have a calendar so you can coordinate your bookings so you don't get mixed up. And there's good software that you can get online for that. But anyway, I recommend Airbnb by far for my case, but VRBO might be one that you check out. And VRBO seems to be more upper level, like really nice places. Not that my places aren't nice, but I get sort of the discount crowd. We're not right in a tourist area. So, but that said, with Airbnb, we're not right in the tourist area, and we still get customers. So there's another boost to Airbnb. About cleaning and maintenance, I have a whole staff. I haven't cleaned any of our guest houses in about 8 years. The first year I did a lot of cleaning, and it's probably good to do that to get to know sort of your weak points and your strong points, and then you can manage others a bit better. Good to do all the jobs of your business. But yeah, I have a whole staff that does it, and I think, as I've mentioned, I communicate with them by line message, but I think you can do that through the Airbnb app if you want to. Every time I go on a device, I check Airbnb first. And that's just, I don't want guests to have to wait for me to answer. I want to be very prompt. I want them to feel confident about me as a host and my team. So every time I log on, I check for messages and just check if there are any problems. So if you're going to do this business, it's going to become a big part of your life. So even when I'm traveling, I'm in Thailand or I'm in Canada, boom, I'm checking the app. I have my staff doing it too, but I also check. So yeah, most guests are good or great, but a few aren't. So you have to be patient. One of the aggravating things for me is I've sent them a lot of information and they don't read it. And even when it is in their language, they still don't read it. And I find that aggravating. And I have to be careful myself, take a breath and just respond calmly. And if I'm not in a good mood, to maybe not respond for a bit until I am in a good mood. Because it can lead to bigger problems, right? If you're rude or whatever, if they feel you're rude. I feel lately, since COVID, people don't read as much, and I don't know why that is. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but our attention span seems to really have gone down. So you're going to get a lot of the same questions over and over again, So you have to be patient with that. Most of our reviews are good. Most Airbnb guests are pretty kind and understanding, which is really nice. Here and there, you're going to get kind of an unfair review. I mean, you feel it's unfair. Obviously, the guest doesn't. I would try to learn from it and move on. That's generally what I do. If it's really low and you feel it's very unfair, then you can contact Airbnb and try to get it removed. It's possible to get some reviews removed, but you have to do a good job of convincing Airbnb that it's wrong. So you may have to back that up with evidence. I usually just let it go and move on. In the beginning, I think I got some very low reviews, like 1 out of 5. The lowest we get these days is probably 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. I can't remember the last 3 out of 5 we got. We got a 4 out of 5 recently, and I was a bit upset about that because they had been difficult guests as well. Actually, I gave them a low mark as well. Here's our review trick you can do. I tend to review everyone these days, but I don't always. And what you can do is if the guests sort of raved about your place, you can review the guest, because that encourages the guest to give you a review. They get a notice that they've been reviewed. If it hasn't gone well, you may not want to review the guest. I review pretty much everyone because I think it helps the system. But if you want to get good reviews yourself, the best way is to make sure that the guest has had a good stay. I guess that seems obvious, but if they've raved about your place, or they, as soon as they walk in the door, they send you a message, say, "Oh, this is great," then you're probably going to get a good review. So you want to encourage them to review you. So you do that by reviewing them. I also have an announcement that goes out to them by automatic message at Airbnb, encouraging them to leave a good review and talking to them about how they can get a good review from me, which is, recycling well, taking care of the trash, just, putting it in a bag. They don't have to do much else, but just not leave dirty dishes everywhere, wash your dishes before you leave, things like that. So that's kind of how I handle it.